Chris Paul. Now that he's on the roster, their average age is 31 years old. I do want to pump the brakes on this team being a true title contender. It's been half a decade since we have seen a peak version of Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. If that is the current situation of your two best guys, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden, who we have seen shrink time and time again in the playoffs, I don't envision you beating the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, or even the Houston Rockets. What is your ceiling on this team, Joel?
The Western Conference Finals. I think they can make a deep playoff run. And I look at the Clippers. I think they are, you can argue, the deepest team in the West outside of OKC. And this is a team that took the Denver Nuggets to 7 games. And they got much, much better this offseason. And they also brought in a big man that can now be a serviceable backup center in Brook Lopez. Before that, it was Drew Eubanks. They were playing Ben Simmons at the 5 in the playoffs against the Denver Nuggets. Now you have 48 minutes of Zubats, Brook Lopez banging down low with Nikola Jokic. That is a recipe for success. And some teams get hyped. And I'm willing to say that I think the Clippers are better than one of the teams that's getting hyped in the Western Conference, and that's the Houston Rockets. I think the Clippers are better than the Houston Rockets. And the same injury concerns that exist for Kawhi Leonard, I think they also exist for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant has not been the most durable player, but I look at both teams in a playoff series with the experience the Clippers have, with the depth the Clippers have. I think they would beat the Rockets in a playoff series. That's how high I am on the LA Clippers. I think they have had a tremendous offseason.
It comes down to top-end talent. I have seen Kevin Durant perform year over year in the postseason. Yes, he has had injury concerns. It's been nothing compared to Kawhi. Kevin Durant, I would take right now over this version of James Harden, who in the playoffs we have not seen. And I would take him over this version of Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, we have not seen that amazing version of him in the playoffs since 2020. There has always been something to take him out. Kevin Durant, even though the Suns were an absolute debacle, I believe that was fully roster construction. Kevin Durant finished the season last year. Yes, Kevin Durant went through injuries, but it was nothing compared to this Clippers team. And you can argue that the Rockets are even deeper than the Clippers.
No way.
That is an argument.
You can't make that. No, you can't.
Yes,
There's
you can.
no argument to be made for that, because when you break it down, the Clippers have more depth. When you have Brook Lopez off the bench with Bogdan Bogdanovic, with Nick Batum, with Chris Paul, with Derrick Jones Jr., might I add. I mean, this team is insanely deep, and they got veterans. The Rockets got some good depth. You have Tari Eason, you have Steven Adams, you have Clint Capella, you have Reed Shepherd, but we still don't know what Reed Shepherd is right now. We don't know who he is going to be. I think the Clippers have more depth. That's why I said I think they are the second deepest team in the Western Conference.
You could make an argument that Fred VanVleet, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, and Alperen Şengün can go head-to-head against the Clippers. As far as depth, you already said it. Tari Eason, my guy Dorian Finney-Smith, Jayshawn Tate, they found a way to re-sign. Jeff Green, Steven Adams, Clint Capella, Reed Shepherd, who we have not seen the best of yet. And this week they signed Josh Okogie. That depth is very comparable. Yes.
Josh
Okogie is a 12th or 13th man. Yeah, that's a lot better than anybody else's 12th to 13th.
I don't want Josh Okogie being a nothing man on my team. I don't even want him on the roster.
Stop it. Okay, the five off the bench of the Rockets can be compared to the 5 off the bench for the Clippers. That's the argument. The Thunder, the Nuggets, it's not an argument. And you're talking about the conference finals, and at best, let's say you win this Rockets argument, at best, they're the 3rd best team in the Western Conference.
I'm just struggling to find this amazing Kevin Durant in the playoffs since 2021. Because 2022, did he not get swept by the Boston Celtics? Oh yeah, he did.
Ime Udoka was an assistant. Ime Udoka was an assistant coach on the Nets the year before, and literally coached the Boston Celtics the next year, and had had the plague,
Okay.
had everything on
Did,
him.
did Kevin Durant have his worst series of his career in that series? Yes, he did. The year after, he goes to the Suns. They beat a Clippers team that was hampered by injuries.
That's
Kawhi
ironic.
Leonard before he, yeah, Kawhi Leonard before he went out with injury was actually playing better than Kevin Durant. In
After
the
two
second
games,
round, who was the best player in the Nuggets series? Oh,
who
wait. Oh, yeah. It was Devin Booker. It was Devin Booker. Oh, what did KD shoot when he was guarded by Aaron Gordon? Oh, he shot 33% from the field when he was guarded by Aaron Gordon. Oh, yeah. What about the year before when did they win a game against Minnesota in the first round? Wait. No, they did not win a game against Minnesota in the first round. They actually got swept, and Anthony Edwards embarrassed him.
they literally beat the Clippers within the last 2 years. And Kawhi Leonard got
With
hurt
no
in
Kawhi.
that
With no
series.
Kawhi.
Exactly. Do you expect Kawhi Leonard to be there this year? Or do you expect, oh, he played in 2025? They still couldn't get out of the first round because it's not the same Kawhi Leonard.
Injury is always going to be the biggest thing holding back Kawhi Leonard.
For sure.
But this offseason, he's healthy. Last year in the regular season, James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, when they played on the court together, were a 60% win percentage team. They were one of the very best teams win percentage wise in the Western Conference, and they got better. The injury concern is always there with Kawhi. I'm not saying it's not there, but I'm saying fully healthy. Both teams go toe to toe. Part of me just trusts Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers a little bit more.
Yeah. I saw Kawhi Leonard last year during Summer League. If you remember correctly, last year during Summer League was Team USA training camp. And it was a Monday that he got randomly dismissed from that team. Kevin Durant, with an injury, was like, no, bro, like we'll have a starting lineup spot waiting for you. And they did, and they went on to win a gold medal. Kawhi Leonard did not even make it overseas because they dismissed him. 3 days
He's
later,
hurt.
3 days later, okay. 3 days later, he's in Zook nightclub at 3:30 in the morning, partying with Paul George, another guy with
Can't
great
have
injury
fun.
history. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying, if we're talking a pure basketball argument, Team USA made that decision. They would rather have an injured Kevin Durant over an injured Kawhi Leonard. That happened, and
This
that's
is
why
not
I would take the Houston Rockets over.
KD versus Kawhi conversation. KD is a better player than Kawhi Leonard. But outside of Kevin Durant, who can create offense on the Rockets efficiently?
Amin Thompson could take a leap. Reed Shepard could take a leap. Fred VanVleet's on that roster. Alperen Şengün's pretty efficient himself, so we'll see.
Zubats is better than Şengün.
Defensively, yeah. Defensively, yeah.
Offensively, yes, he's better.
Okay.
He's more
We'll,
efficient.
we'll see about them. I will say this. I just want to pump the brakes on them as a true contender because the argument you have is they're the third best team in the Western Conference. And the Nuggets and the Thunder are so far ahead of both the Rockets and Clippers, in my opinion. Those are the two contenders in this Western Conference.
So the Nuggets are so far ahead of the Clippers, who took them to 7 games.
Yeah, and the Nuggets turned Michael Porter Jr., their worst contract, into Cam Johnson, into Tim Hardaway Jr., into their biggest hole on the roster over the last half a decade, Jonas Valanciunas to back up Nikola Jokic. Not to mention they got their finals piece back in Bruce Brown. So yeah, they have overhauled that roster to where, yes, they're head and shoulders above a team they already beat in last year's playoffs with basically 4.5 players.
You're sleeping on the Clippers.
I'm not sleeping. I think they're going to be a 55-win regular season team. I think in
They
the
could win
playoffs,
60 games.
good. I just think in the playoffs, first or second round tops.